Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate the support. We're going to get into another video. We're going to get into some route combinations. Well, actually, we're going to get into one. I've went over slout, I've went over double out, and we're going to get into the clown combination. And I just learned about this maybe 4 days ago, okay? And if you don't know what a route combination is, you guys know I run spread. 1-2, offensive line, 2-1, quarterback. Here's the back. Okay, and let's say we call the levels concept, and we have divide on this side, seam divide. And my opponent comes out in, let's say, two-man, right? On the LOS, inside hip. Well, this is where, in an offense, you can have a tag where, I don't know what they would do in real life. But maybe he would look to the left, see two-man, and then yell out like Carolina or Jackson or whatever. And that would be the tag word for these two receivers to know, okay, we are running the slout concept, right? Based upon what he said, okay? And you're running that because you got two-man on this side, and this concept is really good against two-man, right? Man-to-man press, same level. Shout out to one of you guys. One of you guys posted in the previous video that you ran this concept at the end of the game to seal the game. And you've been killing it in your air raid playbook, and you've won like I don't know, I forgot what you said, one or two players lounge tournaments a week. You've been killing it, and I really, that really excited me to know that he actually used this concept to get a big touchdown in a pivotal part of that game, right? So that's the whole point of my channel, guys, is to show you can play sim football and still be pretty good, right? And so that's loud. I made a video on that. I'm not going to go over that here. I went over double out. This is something that I started tinkering with maybe 3 weeks ago. And as you see, I like it against no cover down on the number 2. And that's in spread, right? So if you run like a trips formation, then obviously you can have route tags for, a 3 route tag or whatever, right? I mean, that's what these are, things you can go to against specific looks, right? And lo and behold, I ran into what a guy calls clown. So this is going to stick with me. I'm just going to call it that from this point forward. And it's good against cover 0 looks. So it's good to have a variety of different things you can go to, so you have a solution for whatever problem the defense presents, okay? Now, the guy I learned this from maybe like 3 days ago is NFL Honest. This is all him, right? I didn't design any of this here. I didn't write none of this. So shout out to him. If you're not following this guy, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go to Twitter and follow this guy. His name is NFL Honest. I believe he was a former quarterback consultant in the league. And this guy, I mean, he provides so much interesting stuff about the game, the X's and O's and all of that, okay? And this is what he calls clown. It's a circus route and Omaha, so we can use this in a 2x2 set. When I saw this, I'm like, hey, you know what? I can try to simulate this in Madden. Let's see if it works, right? Now, the whole reason why he went over this, I believe he's an Eagles fan, and he's been ripping on the Eagles. I don't want to say ripping. He's been critical of the Eagles this year because, one of their I don't want to say main problems, but one of their biggest problems is cover 0. Them not providing the quarterback the answers, the at least giving them a chance to be successful, okay? And he went over, I mean, he showed clips of it, but basically he tagged this up to showcase how you could attack cover 0, where you have this alert chat for when you get cover 0 and you have 2x2 on the side. Hey, we can check into this knowing that, hey, this should be pretty good against what they're giving us. What I also found very interesting, and you're learning every day, is I always thought when they're playing cover 0, obviously someone's going to come scot-free, right? And I would always think that if we're going to throw hot, we want to throw hot into the side that the blitz, the free rusher, is coming from. But what he is saying is, you're not doing that. You want the free rusher to come away from the side that you're attacking in cover 0 man-to-man, right? So I found that very interesting. And he also stated that, you're throwing into on the side of where the free rusher is coming from if it's a zone type blitz. Okay, so that's something I got to look up on. I thought that was interesting. So basically, you guys see the play here. The free rusher is going to come from this side, so we're going to make this guy hot on this side, and we're going to kind of move the platform of the quarterback. So I guess you're going to drift away from this guy. Okay, so we should be blocked up on this side. And this look, as you see, premium look against press on the number one. So you got the corner pressed up on one, and then you're off on the number two when they're playing cover zero. And the whole point of this route combination is you have the circus route, we have Omaha here, and we're trying to get a rub here. Okay, so you guys can read the rest of this stuff. You know, I read it all and all that, but I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm like, you know what, let me go in the game and see if I can recreate that, because sometimes I do get cover zero, and, you know, I gotta add versatility to my attack of cover zero. So of course I went in my playbook and I was hoping that I would have these route combinations here. I used to always call this a burst corner, and I think I've been off on that. One of you guys told me that the route that I showed in one of my videos, I always ask what this route is. You guys said that this is a burst corner, so I was off on this. I didn't know that that's what this is called, and I see that they had this tagged as a circus route. So now it's just going to stick with me. I'm just going to call this a circus route from now on, and that's how I'm going to roll. So why don't we get into the clip here. Go follow this guy. Okay, so here's the game. And so first play of the game, he's onside kicking it. So, you know, right away you can tell this guy's probably going to do some gimmicky stuff here, right? So we luck up and we get the ball back. And I'm going, you know, I'm making my audibles. And then right away I see this, right? So now we know it's cover zero. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm just going to attack deep post and do what I got to do, right? I don't know who called a timeout. Oh, I called timeout. Okay, I know why I did. Because I'm like, hey, you know what? I can try that. I could try that. I'm always very excited to try new stuff. You know, I don't care if it's a mutt game or whatever. I don't care if I lose. I like to try new stuff and incorporate it in my game. And I like to practice it live. I don't like to do it on the practice field. I like to get the reps live, right? So you can kind of see how people react and if it works, right? So this is where I'm like, you know what? These are my usual audibles. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take HB draw out, because if this guy's just going to play cover zero the entire game, then I might as well add another weapon to it. And there it is. I'm like, hey, you know, I have this in my playbook. I never use this play, but this may be something I can utilize to attack a look like cover zero with a press and an off. So I check into it. I'm really excited to try it. So evidently I didn't try it right away. So I'm like, look, let me just get a play here. So this is my other play against cover zero. I don't remember what happened. All right, we pick it up. We make the throw. And we miss. Right? So second and 10, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me try this out, right? So I labbed it on the practice field for like a minute before I got to this game. And I'm like, all right, let me play some games. So this was my first time trying it live. And I noticed on the practice field, you have to have this guy on the LOS and you have to have him off. And you actually can get a nice rub here. And notice how the corner here is on and this guy's off, right? The exact look that he was talking about. Now, where I was wrong, according to him, is we want this guy to be the free rusher, right? So I found that very interesting. So basically, we would want to... Now, that's wrong because you wouldn't want the running back to pick up the defensive end, but I just want you guys to see what I'm saying, right? So you would want him to be the free rusher, right? And you would just kind of drift and move the platform of the quarterback just by enough time, because you're throwing over here. Okay, that's basically what I'm getting at. I used to always think that in this situation, because we're throwing over here, that we would want the free rusher coming from over here, right? So I'm not entirely sure why he's saying that you have to. I don't want to say have to, but I guess it's more optimal for you to have the free rusher coming from this side against cover zero man. Maybe it's because if this guy's the free rusher and you're forced to drift this way, it makes the throw a little bit further away, or maybe throwing into his side, he could potentially be a problem for the throw, right? So maybe thinking about that, I don't know, right? But I wasn't thinking about that here. I'm like, hey, I just want to throw the ball. You know what? It actually changed the mic here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 6. Wow, so I think it's actually going to pick up. Let's see. Oh no, because he dropped out. Okay. But watch how we get a rub here. Right, you see that? That's just beautiful stuff, right? And I put too much air on it. Way too much air on it, and he's able to get an interception. Okay. But I was still excited when that happened because I'm like, hey, that actually works. All you have to do is throw, a good ball and you're good to go. But we did get that rub against cover zero, right? So later on in the game, I got the same look, press, a little bit off, cover zero, and I'm like, hey, I can run clown. There it is. Snap. Look how we got that rub right there. I mean, it's just perfect, right? Outside shoulder, wide open. So, it may not be something that you'll utilize all the time. That was maybe 2 days ago. And then earlier today, I ran into the same scenario. And I'm like, hey, I can run that again, right? So I was excited to use it. So I didn't run it here, I don't think. Yeah, I got a flag. So I knew what he was doing. I wasn't thinking about doing it, right? And I'm like, he's going to run that same play. Why don't I run the clown concept, right? I was hoping he'd be out in the same look, and what do you know, he was. So I'm like, yes, I get to try it. And I think I did the line protection the way it's supposed to be. Yep. So now the mic's over here. So if everyone were to come, actually this is horrible because the C is on him, so now the back's got to climb over and get him, right? So I don't know how they would block this up with 6-1 with the check release being here, but I guess we'll see. But, well, he didn't bring everyone anyways, right? But he's still in cover zero on the back end. And what do you know? You see how we get that rub there? And now it's wide open, right? So, I mean, this is something you can utilize. Throw in your bag, if you have this play. If you have, all you need is a 2x2 set. You have the circus route on the outside. Usually they have a flat route tied to it in 2x2. Well, obviously we could just hot route him to an out, right? Okay. And like I said, I take that outside receiver and I put him off the LOS and I put the 2 on. And that's where I've noticed where you can get that nice rub action, right? And, against certain cover zero looks. Now, I didn't check against, if they were both on the LOS, same level as you would get in man-to-man press, same level. But I would imagine in that situation, you can run slout, right? So, I mean, you see how we can kind of complement your route combinations together, and you could just be that much more deadly as an offense, okay? So I'll leave it at that. Definitely go check out NFL Honest on Twitter. He has a lot of information, and I hope you keep coming back for more, man. Peace.